Pakistan, or appreciating, as the case may be, and see whether we have a good following for these kinds of programs. I've always been a believer with Emerald TV that people like us should speak to the world in English so that it can be addressed to a global market.
That's okay.
So let's start. What are your views about the first 100 days that Imran Khan? What expectations did you have? We'll talk about what the expectations of the world were. We will talk about what the diaspora thought about it. But what do you personally think about that?
Basically, I believe that Imran Khan 100 days are a non-event. It's not an event at all. There's nothing has happened really. There's a lot of verbosity, and there's nothing changed in his attitude or in his intellectual output. The language has not changed. The subject has not changed, and that concerns me a lot because you can be a leader on a stage that has got different spectrum and outlook, but leader when you come as a prime ministerial material and running the head CEO of the government, and you have to deliver the expectations that you have promised in the manifesto, that is a very different issue. Now, I believe that, as your question says, that if you look at the 100 days promises, those were unrealistic promises based on absolutely no research. And one of the most important anchor promise was that the moment they will come in, the whole dynamics of Pakistan foreign exchange liabilities will change, because what will happen is that he will have such a good positive momentum, incoming momentum, that the diaspora all over the world
I agree.
will send in hundreds of billions. So
people expected that they will be prepared and they will start taking action. It seems as though they hadn't got a plan. A lot of people are criticizing.
But like the plan was that the goodwill plan was that there will be 200 billion of bank deposits which are there outside, which they will be able to tap, and there will be 12 or 13 billion rupees a day of corruption, and there is all this corrupt money will come back in. The issue of overemphasis on corruption is one of the major problems. That first of all, no one bothered to check that since 2008, SNB, Swiss National Bank, has made clear reports. There is no $200 billion or anything like this. That figure was just thrown up in the air by previous government, and before that the previous people, and then that no one checked it. No one bothered to check. So then the expectations were made on the fact that all of a sudden this will be kind of a new revolution in Pakistan, and there will be huge changes, and we will not be able to, be leveraged. We will use our leverage of goodwill, and that will help change the fortunes of the nation. That did not happen, and on the contrary, what happened? That flight of capital has taken place. What is basically a good economic theory for any country?
Which is economics to thrive.
But basically inward flow of the capital. Whatever happens, the formation of capital and inward flow of capital. So investments need capital, and capital formation is one of the most important things. So that stopped completely.
Okay, let's look into as to why the IK government has not been able to do it. Is it because there has been some international, because there are some international views as well as to why Imran Khan is not succeeding, the international community. Even the people who supported him to win the election, they are disappointed that things are not happening.
No, but nothing can happen overnight.
That is true. So, although
the whole idea for a poor nation like Pakistan with no oil resources to say that all of a sudden 100 days things will change, no.
So
that in itself was a wrong slogan.
Okay, so I agree.
Why do you sell the dreams when you don't know? Because you only sell dream when you don't realize the challenge.
So let's presume, like all politicians, including in the West, a political party gives out a slogan, gives out a manifesto, which is very hopeful and colorful, because that's the only way they'll get into power. Then the reality hits the fan, as they say, and they are unable to deliver some, if not many, of the promises that got people to vote for them. And they start making excuses that the previous party was to blame, or historical facts are to blame. What can we do? The price of oil has gone up, things like that. These are all normal things you and I, with our grey hair, have gone through and experienced that politicians.
With my no hair.
With my no, I so, but in a positive light, there is hope. At least Imran Khan brought hope to the
Yeah,
diaspora.
absolutely.
And we are saying that not much can be achieved in 100 days. I agree. But at the same time, what we must do, which is exactly what the essence of this program is, that we should criticize in a positive way and make the expectations to go in the right direction. How do you think that we are not? The next question that I had is that the IMF is Imran Khan has first of all gone to 3, 4 countries. He's in Malaysia today, and some people are saying that China has said we will support. We've always been there, but not guaranteed anything at the moment as we speak. Saudi Arabia has given, let's say, $3 billion. The UAE apparently have also promised certain things which are positive, and he's now gone to seek some advice, I believe, from Mahathir Mohamad as to what to be done. Why do you think? Of course, we know that IMF team has been in Pakistan. I think they're leaving today to go back after nearly 2 weeks. They are insisting on certain points which Imran Khan and his government are saying we cannot accept. How do you feel about what IMF could do? We do need support of the IMF just to remain in the international, credit market and the economy of the country. Realize that we have a good credit rating as a country because IMF is also giving us a loan.
Yeah, yeah. The point is that if you have made this huge preamble to a